Los Angeles Lakers have just experienced one of the most unusual off-seasons in recent memory. Instead of making predictable moves or following the conventional script, they've taken risks, surprised fans, and set the stage for a season filled with intrigue. From unexpected draft decisions to roster shakeups, from long-term contracts to whispers about the franchise's future ownership, the Lakers have once again managed to dominate the NBA conversation without even playing a game. It all began with their decision not to bring back Dorian Finney-Smith, a defensive-minded forward who had provided versatility in his time with the team. At first, this choice puzzled some fans. But in reality, that move opened the door for larger changes. With Finney-Smith gone, the Lakers were able to add DeAndre Ayton and Jake LaRavia, two players who reshaped the balance of the roster. Ayton, a former #1 pick, brings size, rebounding, and interior scoring, skills that the Lakers have lacked consistently over the last few years. Meanwhile, LaRavia adds shooting and defensive versatility on the wing, giving the Lakers new options in lineups that demand flexibility. But perhaps the biggest shock of the early summer came during the draft. Rob Pelinka and the front office pulled off a maneuver no one saw coming. They jumped nearly 20 spots in the second round in order to secure Adu Fiero, a long, athletic, and defensively gifted prospect with the potential to blossom into a future star. Many analysts called it a gamble, questioning whether it was worth spending so much draft capital to take a flyer on a raw prospect. But the Lakers, desperate to inject youth and length into their wing rotation, believed Fiero was exactly the kind of player who could eventually make a difference in playoff basketball. Of course, the single biggest headline of the Lakers' offseason didn't come from a draft pick or a role player acquisition. It came from the front office's ability to secure Luka Dončić on a long-term extension. Luka, one of the most transcendent stars in the game today, is not just a superstar. He's a generational talent capable of anchoring a franchise for the next decade. By locking him up, the Lakers ensured that they have their cornerstone in place, someone who can carry them into the post-LeBron era whenever that time arrives. On paper, that move alone should make the offseason an unquestioned success. But not. Everyone is convinced. Recently, NBA insider Ben Rohrbach of Yahoo Sports published his annual rankings of league executives using a detailed sabermetric-style system that attempts to measure the effectiveness of every trade, draft pick, and free agent signing. When the results came out, Lakers fans were stunned. Rob Pelinka, the man credited with shaping the roster and engineering this new version of the Lakers, was ranked just 20th out of 23 executives. Rohrbach gave him credit for helping build the 2020 championship roster, but he was quick to point out that Pelinka wasn't responsible for the move that brought LeBron James to Los Angeles in the first place. That was Magic Johnson's doing. Since then, Rohrbach argued, Pelinka's track record has been inconsistent, full of tinkering, frequent shakeups, and moves that often failed to pan out. In Rohrbach's view, even the Dončić deal wasn't a testament to Pelinka's skill. Instead, he suggested it fell into the Lakers' lap, almost as if luck, rather than strategy, had put Luka in purple and gold. The criticism raises a serious question. Is Rob Pelinka really the right person to guide the Lakers into the future? This isn't just about next season's performance. It's about the long-term direction of one of the NBA's most historic franchises. Adding to the uncertainty is the looming ownership transition. For decades, the Lakers have been run as a family business under the Buss family. But whispers are growing louder that Jeanie Buss's grip on the team may be loosening, and billionaire investor Mark Walter, the man credited with building the Los Angeles Dodgers into a modern powerhouse, is preparing to assume full control. If that happens, the entire organizational philosophy of the Lakers could change overnight. Walter is not a patient man when it comes to sports ownership. His track record with the Dodgers proves he is aggressive, willing to spend, and always looking for new ways to push his team ahead of the competition. He doesn't accept mediocrity, and he certainly doesn't accept stagnation. Compare that with how the Lakers have been managed in recent years, more conservative, more careful, often hesitant to take big swings. And the contrast is striking. Walter represents the future, while the Buss approach feels tied to the past. For Rob Pelinka, this could spell trouble. Even though he's extremely close to Jeanie Buss, there is no guarantee he'll survive once Walter takes control. Walter is far more likely to bring in an analytics-driven, risk-taking executive to oversee basketball operations, someone more aligned with his aggressive philosophy. That means Pelinka, despite his efforts to stabilize the roster, may find himself on the outside looking in. But the front office drama isn't even the most dramatic storyline in Los Angeles right now. That distinction belongs to LeBron James. At 40 years old, LeBron continues to defy logic, producing at a level that very few athletes in history have managed at such an advanced age. Yet whispers are growing louder that this could be the season. He finally demands a trade. For years, LeBron has committed himself to Los Angeles, but he is also a player who has always prioritized winning. If the Lakers don't prove they are legitimate contenders, he could decide that his final years should be spent chasing championships elsewhere rather than languishing in mediocrity. If that happens, the consequences for the Lakers would be seismic. Losing LeBron, even at this stage of his career, would throw the franchise into chaos. And Pelinka's decisions, the same ones analysts like Rohrbach are questioning, could play a direct role in whether LeBron stays or leaves. That is the kind of pressure hanging over this franchise as they head into the season. So, where does that leave the Lakers right now? On paper, they look strong. Luka Dončić is secured as their future centerpiece. Ayton and LaRavia bring new dimensions to the roster. Adu Fiero offers upside as a developmental project. But beneath the surface, cracks remain. Pelinka's reputation is under fire. Ownership is preparing for a massive shift, and LeBron's future is uncertain. The Lakers are standing at a crossroads, and the decisions made over the coming months could determine whether they return to championship glory or stumble into a period of instability. Meanwhile, Luka Dončić himself remains at the heart of everything. Beyond his NBA duties, Luka continues to carry the pride and expectations of his home country, Slovenia. Every summer, he joins the national team, representing Slovenia on the international stage with the same brilliance he shows in the NBA. Though Slovenia has yet to secure a medal in major competitions like the FIBA World Cup or the Olympics, Luka has made it his mission to change that. Currently, Slovenia is preparing for Eurobasket, and Luka is once again the focal point. Fans in Los Angeles are following every update closely, not just out of national pride, but because how Luka handles his international duties will directly affect his readiness for Lakers training camp. Recently, he made headlines by choosing to play only one of Slovenia's 2 back-to-back games. He sat out against Lithuania and saved his energy for the matchup against Latvia. It was a calculated decision designed to balance his national responsibilities with his long-term health and NBA obligations. This approach demonstrates Luka's maturity. He understands that overexerting himself now could compromise his availability for the NBA season, and the Lakers have fully supported this decision. They know that their championship hopes rest heavily on Luka's shoulders, and protecting his health is priority number one. Slovenia, of course, still benefits from his presence, even if he doesn't play in every preparatory game. His leadership, vision, and skill elevate the team whenever he steps on the floor. Eurobasket officially tips off on August 27th, with Slovenia's first game against powerhouse France on August 30th. It will be a stern test for Luka and his teammates, but also an opportunity to sharpen his skills before the NBA season begins. For the Lakers, these games serve as both preparation and risk management. They want Luka to gain valuable experience without jeopardizing his body for the grueling NBA campaign that lies ahead. Looking back at his first season with the Lakers, Luka proved why he is considered one of the best players on the planet. He averaged 28.2 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 7.5 assists per game, while shooting 43.6% from the field and nearly 38% from three. His scoring, passing, and leadership transformed the Lakers' offense, and his presence gave fans hope for a new era of dominance. Keeping him healthy and in rhythm is absolutely essential. That brings us to the latest twist in the Lakers' offseason narrative, a blockbuster hypothetical trade scenario crafted by Bleacher Report's Eric Pincus. In his vision, the Lakers would orchestrate a 5-team deal so massive and complex it would send shockwaves across the league. At the center of it would be a shocking decision, trading LeBron James along with his son Bronny to the Dallas Mavericks in order to acquire Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks. The idea of pairing Giannis with Luka in Los Angeles is tantalizing. At 30, Giannis is still firmly in his prime, a 2-time MVP and one of the most dominant players in the league. Last season, he averaged over 30 points, nearly 12 rebounds, and more than 6 assists per game, numbers that PL